Ya Allah. They have targeted some particular individuals for killing. There are youths who constitute a sort of group called Abul Fadl Abbas unit, and it consists of youths of 10 and 20 ages. 100% of them students, mostly of universities, either undergraduate, some of them postgraduate, pursuing their masters. All of them were students of university. All of them, 100% of them, were all students. They targeted a lot of them. They have a list of them whom they wanted to murder because they think that the future will be of these boys. Some of them are pursuing their courses outside the country, including my sons. When they came for holiday, they were all, 2 of them were studying in China. One was in Lebanon. They came all for holiday. They were all murdered. All right. The idea is they want to kill the future. They wanted to kill the future so that there will be no future. They think that they have some potentialities. Some of them are very intelligent, and they pursue some courses, like my son who is studying chemical engineering and has got green paper, green card, and also the other is aeronautical engineering, and one of the best universities of aeronautical engineering is Genius. They murdered all. They have a list of those youths, men and women among them, boys and girls rather. They murdered almost all of them. Only about how many survivors? About 8 also, and there were many. So they have done a lot of damage. And among those they killed also were some doctors, medical doctors. And because we are running a kind of hospital in that Husseiniya, the center, they murdered all the patients and all the nurses and all the doctors. This was untold. And the destruction was terrible, sometimes I don't want to mention smaller things, like I was talking to you on how they were even shooting horses. These are just little things. If they murdered human beings, about 1,000, over 1,000 people were murdered in 3 days, and they all carried all their bodies and dumped them in different mass graves. They didn't consider the right of anyone. I was saying, if a man has a right, even a dead person has a right to be buried according to his religious belief. But these people took upon themselves to take all the bodies and some of them they burned them while they were burying them with chemicals. They put chemicals. So they have done a lot of atrocities beyond thinking, something which has never happened in the history of this country. So I was saying in my speech on that which yesterday, that I have never seen a war, if it is war, without cause. There has to be, first of all, something is boiling, hatred, and so on. In the end of the day, it results in a quarrel. This is not war. It is massacre. You cover some people who are innocent, armless, and yet you murder them. And after all this, they could not say why. Why did they say blockages of the road? What a shameful thing. What a shameful thing. Assuming the road was blocked, as they said, should they do? Should they murder the people who blocked the road? All right. And what about all our different places they had attacked? The people who are coming into Zaria. Do you know that who came from those who will come from Katsina? if they spot people whom they consider as part of us, like our sisters normally wear black hijab, if they see one of them black, they will now pour petrol on the bus and burn all of it, including the driver and conductor. They burned so many buses and took the bodies and to Bashawa, but army battalion, and they were calling them roasted meat. Similarly, the road to Kano, if you know, there was an Nur mosque along the road. Then from that road, they murdered a lot. Similarly, the road from Sokoto, from Jos, from Kaduna, and from Birunungwari, all the roads leading to Zaria, they were there, you know. And from Kaduna to Zaria, even around Birunungwari and Jaji, whoever they spotted looking like what they consider Shia, you may be unfortunate that day to be wearing black garment, and you would be dead. All right. What they didn't know that day was not a day of wearing black. It was a day of wearing white. So all the brothers none of them wore black colors. All right, because it was not a day of mourning at that time. But our sisters, whether it is mourning or no mourning, it is they always dress in black. All right. So they have done a lot of damage. But this has, in a way, their own intention was to destroy the movement. But in one way, they boosted the movement. All right. They boosted it, and it became an international issue. People who didn't know what is the movement, what are they calling for, who are they started to know. And not only in this country and beyond. You know, this how there have been demonstrations demanding for our release all over the world. You know, you remember those people who stage we did sit out. It is called sit in Australia. I don't know. They were sitting in front of the Nigerian embassy in London for 52 days, and it was rainy season. They were tolerating the rain for 24 hours for 52 days. Until when we were in India, I phoned. I said, I thank them, they can go back. And then they were coming from different areas from Europe. And there were so many demonstrations in India. They said that in one day there was a demonstration in about 55 different towns in India in one day. To the extent that the Prime Minister of India was asking, what about this? Really El-Zakzaky. He was thinking that El-Zakzaky was an Indian man. Which state is detaining him? Province rather. Which province? He was told it was not in India after all. It was somewhere in Africa. See how the issue become, they internationalize the issue, and also they added our supporters. And they have also seen one thing. And what I would normally say, if anybody says the Nigerian people, whatever you do to them, they just sit down and keep quiet. If you say so, someone will say, but not activists in the Islamic movement, because these people did not keep quiet. And they can never think that they can do anything, and simply we will keep quiet. We will never keep quiet. And the movement can never be proscribed or destroyed or crushed. We are uncrushable. Thank God. This is what they did, a lot of havoc, but it helped us in the way they don't expect. Now, I hope I've answered your first question. The second, we were thinking that immediately we come out, we will be able to get our medical attention. But we needed our passports. You know, our house were destroyed, including our own passports. When the court gave the order that we have the right to be seen by our own doctors, we can even bring doctors from outside to see us. We invited some doctors from outside. All right. Also, the court gave a different court gave another ruling that we have the right to go outside for medical attention, even while in detention. We choose to go to India. It was our own choice. we chose an hospital because 3 of the doctors who came from outside to see us were from India, and they recommended us to go there. And it was arranged that those doctors will be part of the team which will see to our medication. All right. At that time, we needed a passport. You know that we did not go to passport office to request for the same authority. They were in their hand. The DSS instructed the immigration to retrieve our passports. So they retrieved all the pictures and signatures and everything of the former passport and made 2 brand new ones, without us going for capture, because all the details were there. The thumbprint do not change, even pictures they will not change, signature don't change. So everything, all the information is the same. So they retrieved the old passport and made the new ones for us. And then when we came back, they decided to bring us back without medication. All right, because it appears, going to India, maybe you may read an account written by my wife about our trip to India and what happened. She has written an article about it, giving all the details of what happened. So they have the passports with them. They didn't give us the passports when we came back. When we were released, we went for the passport to the DSS. The DSS said that the passport were in the hands of NIA. The NIA now said, okay, we have to write. We wrote. They said we have to do. So many others, they continue to do this. And finally, they said that they don't have the passport, meaning the passport have been lost. So since it is lost, you know the process. You have to declare passport. We don't even need to do that because they retrieve the old passport. They can retrieve new ones. All the same, we went we make the report to the police of the loss of passport, and we swore an affidavit in the court of law that the passport had been sold. We collected all the documents that were necessary and submitted for issuance of a new passport. And up till now, they have not issued us the new passport. So what he is holding us is a lack of passport, because we cannot travel outside without passport, and our passports have not been given back to us. We have taken the DSS and the Attorney General and the DSS to court over the seizure of our passport. The matter is in the court now. But in their own response, the DSS, which placed a red flag on the passports, now denied placing any red flag. And they have written, it appears that they have officially removed the flag, and then they said they have never placed the red flag. Good enough. So it means the immigration can issue a new one, isn't it? So the immigration has not issued a new one. So we are thinking that in the next sitting of the court, we will find and we will join the immigration in the same case. In the same case, DSS, Attorney General, and the immigration. We are going to take them to court also. Well, meanwhile, we live with the issues. Imagine somebody with fragments of bullet in his body, and that fragment of bullet is secreting poison, and that poison is dangerous. And then we are just living with it like that. I managed to take some traditional medicine which can prevent the circulation of that poison in the blood. That's all. Well, we are still hopeful. We didn't lose hope, but it appears that, the process, which shouldn't take even a week, has taken us up all these months. So that's it. Simply put it, the reason why we are not out is because they have not allowed us to have our passports. I don't want to talk much about my suffering, because sometimes I get to understand that the enemies get happy when they hear that we are suffering. So sometimes I even pretend, particularly when we are in prison, I try to walk briskly so that these people will say, oh, he's healthy. Hey, so look at him, and it hurts them because they won't see me, die. So I don't want to much. All I know is I am suffering from wounds within my body, which require professional attention, which actually they cannot be done here. They admitted these tiny fragments, they cannot remove them. All right, the chelation therapy to remove the poison may be easy, but removing the tiny pilots, will be difficult. All right. And particularly when some of them have gone even under the brain. Some of them are on the skull. It's very difficult, sensitive thing to do. So we are managing, inshallah. We are just managing the way. See, my wife is chair bound for 5 years. Imagine working on a wheelchair. She's working with electronic wheelchair. All right. For here, it's possible because there's no lift. She has to climb using the help of someone near her to climb to the upstairs. But in the upstairs, moving from one place, she has to use wheelchair. Even going to toilet from bed, she has to use wheelchair. So we are managing life, that is all. Thank God Almighty, who kept us alive. Actually, we have not opportunity to say what the real story while we are in detention, because the people who are detaining us will make things difficult for us. The real truth is all through our detention, we have been feeding ourselves. Since the time we reached Kaduna, up to the time we were released, nobody bought us a single bottle of water. We are feeding ourselves. Even I would say in Abuja, we were feeding ourselves. But we could not say, because we were feeding ourselves also illegally. Because legally they are supposed to feed us. All right? But they don't want anybody to hear that we are feeding ourselves. We actually fed ourselves all the years, 5 years, 7 months, we were in detention. Throughout, we were feeding ourselves. Nobody gave us a bottle of water.
So how did Lai Mohammed get that?
Okay, but even light, we are paying for electricity bill while in our own detention. We are paying for electricity and water. We are paying also for fuel for the generator. Even we bought our own generator. In Abuja here, in detention, we bought our own generator. And we are buying our own fuel.
So how did he get the information?
I don't, even though his name is Lai, but actually he was not lying. The DSS told him so. They told it, but what I learned that what were taken out from FIR, Federal Inland Revenue, was about 4 million every month for our feeding. So those money were going to their own pockets. Not a single kobo has gone to us. Okay. So even though his name is Lai, but maybe it is true they were taking the money, but they were not feeding us. It is Lai that they were feeding us with those money. He said 3.5 million, that's what they told him. But if the FIR, from one source I had learned that it was 4 million every month. And similarly, even when they harass people, whenever our court case was taking place, they harass people of Kaduna. Even though most of the time we are not even going to the court. They were saying they are giving protection. Although they are removing a lot of amount of money, they are saying they are giving protection to whom I don't know, they are protecting themselves.